I know you're gonna dig this.
This is Rhine McLin, host of the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center's award-winning show, Funk Chronicles, recorded live here at DATV Studios in Dayton, Ohio. And now, in the studio, my guest all the way from Columbus, Ohio, and a native of Dayton, Ohio, Pastor Ronnie Diamond Hoard, member of the Ohio Players. Welcome.
God bless you.
It is so good to see you.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, but you still have the look and you are the same. We're so happy to have you on Funk Chronicles. And I just want to start off with, tell us about yourself and how funk became a part of your life.
Well, I'm from Dayton, as you know, and grew up in the church and all of that, and went out to sow my royals, went out to find the funk, to find the groove, and which it started in the church. You know, a lot of people don't know that the groove, the beat, started in the church. So I just kind of took what I learned, what my mother had taught me, and just took it out and put the groove to it.
Now, guitar is your instrument.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when did you start playing the guitar?
I actually started in elementary school, but I didn't really start playing it pretty good until after high school.
Until after high school?
Yes, ma'am.
And so then, did you play the guitar in the church?
Yes, I was a drummer first.
You were a drummer first, okay.
I wish I had time to tell that story. The reason why I called myself Ronnie Diamond, I always wanted to be, I idolized the Ohio Players. I idolized them. And so Jimmy's name was Jimmy Diamond. I said, when I get grown, when I grow up, I'm going to call myself Ronnie Diamond because I was a drummer.
All right now. Yeah, and you know that. So is that who your inspiration was for the spunk?
As a drummer, yes. As for drumming, yes. But I had, when I went on the road to play gospel music, I had to get off the drums and play the guitar.
So who taught you how to play the guitar?
There was a young man named Marvin Lattimore from Dayton, Ohio. He taught me my gospel chords, and my mom played the keyboards. And she taught me my guitar chords from the piano. My mother did.
Wow.
And a friend of mine, Marvin Lattimore, taught me gospel chords.
On the guitar?
On the guitar.
So you moved from the drums
To the guitar.
to the guitar. So when I ask you who was your funk inspiration, you have more than one.
More than one.
Yeah, can
Yes.
you name a few and
Wow.
what role they play? Now we already know that Mr. Lattimore played a role in teaching you the chords
In gospel.
and gospel on the guitar. And we know that you were excited about Jimmy Diamond, so with the drums.
Because I was a drummer. Yeah.
Because you were a drummer. So do you still play the drums?
Every now and then I get on and I get tired in about 3 seconds, and I just get up and just wave the sticks and give them back to the drum.
Well, I don't think people realize what a workout it is to be a drummer.
It's so much easier playing the guitar.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is, because I always fascinated with watching drummers play.
And then they have to set them up and stuff and carry them in cases and stuff. See, I just throw my guitar on the back of my shoulder.
Okay. So, tell us something. Tell us something no one else knows about your relationship with funk.
Well, speaking of the guitar, Sugarfoot was a jazz, in my opinion, jazz fusion funkster. My guitar style, no one knows this, my guitar style is after his. Now, I don't play as well as he, but my style, my guitar playing, I patterned my style after Sugarfoot. And I don't think a lot of musicians may hear it, but a lot of people don't know that's where I got my guitar style from. Now, Marvin Lattimore taught me gospel on guitar, but my funk grooves.
You used the term funk jazz fusion, didn't you?
Yes, because the Ohio players played everything. They played music. They didn't just play with two notes. They played changes like jazz. They played funk jazz. That's what they did. The Ohio players are a funk jazz group.
Now, what was your role with the Ohio players?
I was the lead singer and the lead guitarist. After Sugarfoot and Jimmy and them had left, Marshall Jones has passed on now. He kept the name going, and so he saw me on a club playing with Satch, and so he came and asked me what I consider being the lead singer for the Ohio players. So it was like 2 or 3 names of players. It was the Players Band, and then it was the Ohio Players, which we would call the graduation class, the graduating class. So it's like we stepped up into where Sugarfoot and them left off. And so Sugarfoot and the Players Bands were still performing, and we were performing as a graduating class. And I was the lead singer and lead guitarist for a 13-piece band.
And what was the famous album out of that?
It's called the Graduation Album.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. And so that leads me into this point that I think that since you've been a pastor for a while now.
21 years.
Yes, 21 years, that in order to get our funksters up to date on who the former Diamond Hoard.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you serenade me a song from that graduation album?
One of the songs that they had trouble with me in the studio, in gospel you want to just go. You just want to just sing and just go. They said, calm down. And they made me sing a song like this. I remember when you were my best friend, and we played in the park from day until dark. Then the last part of it went, you're a sight for sore eyes. You're a sight for sore eyes. You're a sight for sore eyes.
Oh, I'm just so excited and impressed. Thank you for such a serenade. But you're not done, because I got the second part of the question to lead, because you were the lead singer and the lead guitarist for that song, weren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But then how did you change? Because I know you started from gospel,
Yes.
went to the funk.
Yes, ma'am.
And now you've been back in the gospel.
Yes, ma'am.
So what changed you from the funk back to the gospel? What was that? What happened?
And I want to say this so everybody can understand. The funk never leaves. The words change. I'm funky right now. My stuff is groove. And then, people call it a groove. Church people don't say funk, but that's what we use. And it's my stuff right now. I got a couple CDs of my It Is Written album that was nominated for a Stellar Award. Funky. So it never stopped. What changed? The messages changed. Well, one thing. I married this is the truth. I say this everywhere I go, all across the country, on television shows. When I got married, it changed my perspective. And I have 8 children, 24 grandchildren, 1 great grandchild.
Well, you couldn't have done that on the road, could you?
I came home and settled myself. And then my grandfather, on both my sides. You know the Hoards.
I know the Hoards.
My grandfather Hoard was a pastor, and my grandfather Henry was a pastor. So I just went back to
The roots.
The roots. And then being married and having a family, I used that kind of settled me down to change, not to change the funk, but to change the message.
It was an anchor.
Yeah.
It was an anchor.
Like like a ship that's tossed and driven about it by an angry sea. You know, just the funk.
I was going to ask you to sing me another song from your Stellar Award nominee album.
Oh, that was I read in God's word how he fed the little birds. It is written, 2 fish, 5 loaves of bread, 1,000 people, thank God fed. It is written, ooh. Got a little hoarse today, but
No.
it is written. And that song on that album, and the album itself was nominated for a Stellar Award.
Wow, that's an interesting song. But listening to You're a Sight for Sore Eyes, listening to what you just sang for me, what's the name of that song?
That was It Is Written.
It is written that there is a similar beat and function, so that goes with it. So we have funky gospel as well as funky music,
Right.
and I think that's really. I think most folks realize in the church, because now in the church, you have guitars, you have drums,
horns.
You have the whole thing, and a lot of folks get their start, and even so many singers and players have gotten their start in the church.
In the church.
Go secular and then return.
That's right. And they used to call it, and I heard James Brown say they used to call the happy dance
Yeah.
And then they would slow it down and they would dance and they get the beat, and a lot of even the dancers like, you see this?
That's from the church.
That's Hebrew praise. It's called Yada, Toda, Halal. And you see them. They go to the nightclubs, and that's from the church.
And we also see them praise dancing too.
Right, it's in praise dance. So yeah. Now I got to do Dave's thing, or I ain't gonna be able to get out of here.
Okay.
Dave, your cousin.
David R. Webb,
Dave,
yes.
He
President and CEO.
President and CEO.
President and CEO of the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center.
Now I don't know how much voice I have, but if I don't do this, he probably won't invite me back. It's called something about the name Jesus. Something about the name Jesus. It is a sweeter name, I know. Oh,
David, I hope you're happy.
He said I couldn't get out of here without doing that. He was telling me to do that at the place we was at. So,
well, tell me, why do you think the Funk Museum is important, and why Dayton?
Your greatest bands come from Dayton. All of them. I can name them: Heat Wave, Slave, Ohio Players, Phasio, Confunction. I did say Phasio, didn't I?
Yeah, you just said Phaso.
Phaso. I said Phaso. Sun.
Sun. A lot of people
Slave.
forget. A lot of people forget about Sun.
Sunburst. Sun is here. Zap. Roger. And I was a featured lead singer on some of his albums. On Roger Troutman.
Okay.
Now I never performed outward with him, but I was one of the lead singers on some of his albums. Slow and easy is the way I'm loved tonight. Slow and easy.
Well, okay. I've done a
You
lot
ever
of.
heard that?
No, well, I've done a lot of interviews, but this has been. I really enjoyed this interview because you've been extremely entertaining. So but so
you don't woke up to singing. See, I don't sing in the morning. You don't woke up to singing giant in me now. So.
Well, that's okay. I mean, this is the Funk Chronicles, and everything is funky here.
Funky.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I play no instruments. I just funk message. That's what I do. Well, anyway,
that's awesome. You got a funk message.
On the funk message. So one of the things is, give me a little more about why you think the Funk Museum should be in Dayton, and that how important do you think it is to carry forth the forever, the funk music era, because we have Nashville has the country and western. You have Cleveland got rock and roll, but to have a jazz museum, they have those, but to have a funk museum is so important, and to teach children, because some of them, they don't realize it, that so much of the music that they're listening to came from the funk era. And we just had a group of young people put on a play called Blame It on the Funk, the Wesley Community Center.
Blame It on the Funk.
Blame It on the Funk. And the initial story was about a grandfather talking to his granddaughter that she had went through a event in her life, boyfriend thing. And so the grandfather started talking about how he met his mother, how he met his wife, and that it all related to music. So it was a song for this, a song for that. And so what happened was, and the little girl would say to him, he would say something, and she'd say, I guess there's a song for that. And so he would say yes, and what Always and Forever was one of the songs. And it was just really great. And so these young people develop an appreciation
for the funk.
Blame it on the funk. So that's another generation that's going to be looking at the funk music.
Well, rappers, as you know, are sampling all the funk tunes of the 70s and 80s. And then funk was in it. The reason why I think it's so important for Dayton is because so many other professional groups were influenced. Let's go here. Cameo, the Barcades.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's, the Barcades, Cameo, Lionel Richie, Earth, Wind and Fire, and most importantly, all these groups were influenced by the Ohio Players. I got to give it to the Ohio Players.
A horn section from the Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yes, but I'm talking about even the wow.
Oh.
Earth, Wind and Fire go wow. Cameo go wow.
Yeah.
I say Cameo, Earth, Wind and Fire, Lionel Richie.
Who was
Who
was Charlie Wilson with?
Charlie Wilson was with the Gap Band.
Yeah, the Gap Band. The Gap Band was, was funky.
It's funky. So the Ohio Players in particular, and all the rest of the groups as well, influenced funks up. That's why I think it should be here, because other groups, everybody from the nation should come here and pay homage to the funk. Every funk master, because there's a lot, the influence come from here.
One of the supporters has been Bootsy Collins, and right down there in Cincinnati, and so I'm going to ask you, what would you be willing to donate to the Funk Museum? Because at this time, the little, it says about the faith of a mustard seed.
Yes.
Well, David R. Webb with the faith of a mustard seed, and some dedicated G and Stephanie and others who have dedicated to this creation, now, because of their hard work, have a room at the Northwest branch of the new library that's just opened in Dayton.
Wow.
And they have a room that has artifacts that have already been donated to the Funk Museum. The room isn't big, but it's well done in there, and you can go in there and you can hear funk music playing. And so what would you like to donate to the Funk Museum?
My family, my children, we have some pictures. I have a vinyl album of the graduation. So I need to pull some stuff together and
pictures would be really
I have
great.
pictures of we used to at one time. I ain't gonna tell on everybody else. At one time, I used to wear Afro wigs, you know, and we had that with Ronnie Diamond and the New Ohio Players, and then my sister-in-law that's passed on, she got a picture of me with my Jerry curl, when I was with Ohio, with my Jerry curl really long, with my all my hair showing on my chest for the jacket. So I have a lot of stuff, and one of my sisters-in-law just gave me some stuff about like several months ago. So I'll pull some stuff together, and I would be honored to donate whatever I can find.
We would be honored to have it in the Funk Museum. And, you know, because one of the things, not only in the first temporary place that we have is at the library. What better place could you have to be educating to young people? And because at the end of the day, the Funk Museum and Exhibition Center is also going to be an educational center. Where you can, that, and in fact, they had a young man come in to talk about the guitar and teach guitar, that young people.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, those are the kind of things that draw interest and inspiration on how all of this can come together into fruition for generations to come.
I just got back from Mexico, and that's what I did. Guitar clinic. I did a vocal clinic and a guitar clinic. I would love to do that at the Funk Museum. I'd love to come in and gather some musicians around and do a guitar clinic and then do some vocals. So show them how the funk got started.
Well, you know, and just think about, most of you guys really never had formal training, not like, you know, because I always was admiring the guitarists or especially the organist and the pianist in the church who, what they call, they ear played. They could just go right to the piano, hear it, pick up, and start playing.
Never open a book.
And never open a book. And you know, it's later in life that Aretha Franklin actually went back to learn how to play music. I think she wanted to learn to play classical music.
Yes, she did.
But the fact is, all the years that she played, she did it by ear.
Did it by ear.
And all the talent that comes out of our churches.
God.
I mean, just naturals.
Angelic, God, supernatural.
I mean, when you list everybody, I always think, I was talking earlier about, and that's who you kind of reminded me a little bit of, Rance Allen.
Oh, that's one of my best friends.
Well, Rance Allen, tell him there's a little lady down in Dayton, Ohio that still has his first little 45. I still have the 45 of his song about something about
Paris.
Raining. Something about raining.
And no need of crying.
Yes.
When it's raining.
Yes. Okay. Well, I still have that, and I have it on a 45. And I remember him, and so you had some mannerisms that I had seen on, since we're able to do all this stuff, YouTube and things. I said, you know, you're kind of reminding me of him. The only thing that's missing is the towel over the shoulder. Okay.
And him turning around.
Well,
the dancing, you know.
Well, you know, as we get older, the moves slow down. So that's.
She said the move slow down.
But we move what we can, and enjoy that.
I just stand. I play the, you know, just give me do that, and then go back to the guitar.
Well, yeah, you know. Whereas when you were playing, and you know, the other thing that I wanted to say that was really interesting. I want to go back real quick to Blame It on the Funk play. Mark Adams' daughter played the guitar as she made a guest appearance in the Blame It on the Funk play that was done.
Wow.
So and Keith Harrison with Fazo was kind of like the introductory MC. So the one thing that we've done with the David R. Webb and the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center is take even the local people that we have that have Dayton connections, we're bringing them in, we're tapping on them, making sure that they know that they're important, that they are not forgotten. Exactly. in this whole mission to make this a full-fledged museum, exhibition center, and educational center. It is, and it's passion that is there. And having you here with me, it's just been a delight. And so as we round up this show, tell me, what would you want the listeners to know when it comes down to the Funk Museum and the Exhibition Center? You could tell them anything today. What would you tell them?
Support it. Find out the rich heritage of the funk, and that this area, because there was people like Bobby Womack and just a lot of Robert Ward of the past. There's other guys who started this thing even before the Ohio Players did, and other groups. So, and there's a rich heritage that I believe they'll find at the museum, and through the books and through the internet and through contacting the museum. And so support it. Find out where it comes from, and understand it's a God-gifted, God-giving talent to be able to rhythmatically come up with such on the one, on the two, and then the grooves. And each band, Ryan, each band that we've talked about had their own style. They had their own style, but it was still the funk.
Thank you so much, Pastor Diamond Hoard. It's such a pleasure to have you with us, and wish you many blessings in all that you endeavor to do. This is Rhine McLin, host of the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center's award-winning show, Funk Chronicles. Until the next time, keep it funky.
At the cross, where I first saw the light and the burdens of my heart rolled away. Oh yeah, he will wipe away my tears. He will drive away. He will drive away my fears. Restore to me my years.
You all right?
You asked me to sing, so I'm trying to. I remember when.
Well, he's got to serenade me, sister.
So I don't sing in the morning, but you don't want me now.
Well, so
You and David.
well,
You could sing any time of the day, so.
you know,
Give me a little sister so we can get a level on you when you start singing something like that.
I remember when we were my best friend. Your side for sore eyes.
Great. When you sing, this is your camera right here.
Your
This is
side.
your camera right here, okay? But when you got ready to talk, just ready to talk. When you sing into the camera right here, okay?
I know the song.